Meet the Bluetti EB3A portable power station, a 268 watt hour lithium iron phosphate battery that comes in at under $1 per watt hour with a current retail price of $219, making it one of the most affordable iron phosphate batteries available. The Bluetti EB3A is likely on your radar if you're looking for a budget-friendly, low-capacity power station for overnight camping, car trips, or basically, you're not going to use this for backpacking, and I don't think you're going to use it for overlanding. You're going to use it in the middle ground. I have reviewed one Bluetti battery before, the AC50S, which I don't even think they make anymore. And when I reviewed it, I didn't think it was too bad of a unit. So when Bluetti reached out to send me this one, I figured couldn't hurt. That being said, Bluetti did send me this unit to review, but all opinions are my own. I'm not being paid by Bluetti, nor do they get to have any input on the production of this video, other than they asked me to make this video 12 minutes long, which I think will be a bit of a challenge, but, well, let's see what I can do. I've had this battery since early November, so I've had a fair amount of time to play with it, and I feel like I can give a confident opinion on the Bluetti EB3A right out of the gate as a standalone battery. If this is the only battery you're going to own, the EB3A does not fit my longer style trips. It is a decent battery for an overnight trip and in the right conditions, possibly an entire weekend. But as the only battery in my kit, I wouldn't recommend it for more than a night, more than half a night at a time. The EB3A is a 268 watt hour lithium iron phosphate battery, like I was saying before. And for its watt hour rating, I expected it to be physically smaller. It feels more like the size of a 500 watt hour battery. In fact, the first time I used it, I thought it was a 500 watt hour battery, and I used it to run my 12 volt electric blanket, and halfway through the night, I couldn't understand why the battery died. If I had only used my eyes and read this part of the battery right here, I would have had an appropriate expectation. The EB3A, as a 268 watt hour battery, comes in at 10 inches wide, 7 inches deep, and 7 inches tall. So pretty good. It weighs 10 pounds, and I would say its overall size and weight is comparable to the Goal Zero 500X, which is one of my most recommended 500 watt hour batteries. But one of the key reasons that this battery is larger than most other 250-ish watt hour batteries is because the power supply is built in. No more carrying large cable systems with external power supplies to charge the battery. You simply plug straight in to the AC input, which can charge up to 350 watts. Another cool feature of the EB3A is that it allows for simultaneous input between the AC and solar inputs with a maximum solar input of 200 watts. Yes, you could charge via both inputs for a maximum input combined of 430 watts, which clearly outpaces the 268 watt hour battery inside of this. Being a lithium iron phosphate battery, it will have a life cycle of around 2,500 charges, which is a huge plus over all of the previous generation lithium ion batteries that we were talking about a year ago that capped out around roughly 500 cycles. Regarding outlets though, the EB3A has one car style 12 volt right here. It even says marine on it, ooh, and two 5.5 millimeter 12 volt 10 amps outlets right here, two USB-A's, one USB-C that can put out an impressive 100 watts, and two 120 volt 600 watt pure sine AC outlets. Not bad. Oh, it also has on top a wireless charger for easy mobile device charging. There you go. The screen of the EB3A is sharp, bright, and easy to read. A good screen on a battery like this is often underutilized because the battery itself is stowed away somewhere. The EB3A has a feature, though, that I have been asking for forever on solar generators. It is app-enabled, and the app is super easy to connect to, gives insights to the battery's operating status. It is effortless to change battery settings in the app, like in charge input rate, sorry, English is hard, turning on and off outputs, or even just checking for updates, all that stuff in the app, super easy. Well done, Bluetti, at giving users insights into their batteries. This is an exciting feature that earns high marks from me for this battery and the future of the Bluetti line. as the EB3A is what I would consider an entry-level battery. If you are investing in a battery ecosystem, this is an excellent point to start at for that reason alone. So cheers to Bluetti. One thing about the app is that it is so easy to connect to this device that anyone near it can connect. So rarely in any of my reviews has one of the positives also been a negative. So being that it is so easy to connect to, anybody can connect to this battery, opening the door for your buddy camping next to you to connect to it and, I don't know, turn off your battery while you're in the middle of using it. So it'd be nice if there was just one extra layer of security via connecting to this via Bluetooth. I said via so many times there. Connecting to this via Bluetooth. So there you go. Positive is a negative is a positive. So concerning the construction of the battery, the housing is plastic with a collapsible handle, but it doesn't feel cheap. And I love batteries that are like this. Just a clean shape so that when it is packed away, it packs easily. I have a few batteries from Anker, and I just struggle to pack them because they're that pentagon shape. So they followed after Jackery's original design, which I think was just one of the worst designs, and it's shaped like a house. So kudos to Bluetti for making this easy to load up and pack away. Now, as awesome as I think the EB3A is for what it is, this little guy hasn't all been roses and clover. There are a few quirks that we need to talk about. The first is a weird one. It puts off a noticeable electrical scent when it's charging, like you can smell it. It was very potent the first time I charged it, so much so that I sat and I babysat the battery for its first full charge. Since charging and discharging this battery a few times, I think it's getting better. I was actually just charging this before this video and the scent is still there. It's just not as powerful as it was right out of the box. The second, and this is very much a personal thing. I've just seen so many batteries that I talk about it. But the second is the location of the input on the front of the battery. For whatever reason, I prefer, I guess not for whatever reason, I know, but I prefer when a portable battery has the inputs on the back. Batteries like this one are basically a brick full of outputs and can quickly get cluttered, running inputs all off of the front, or running outputs all off the front. So if you run your inputs off of the rear, it just can declutter a little bit of what's going on. That was hard to get through. Hopefully you understood what I was talking about there. I really just wish the inputs were on the back. That's all. The third negative, like most of these imported batteries, the EB3A has a small, let's see if I can even turn it on, a small light on the front of it. And this one feels, oh, there it goes, see, weird. Feels very gimmicky, and I'm under the opinion that Bluetti is just trying to check off the same boxes as the successful Jackery line, which is fine. I get it. I know it's competition, but I don't know if it really stands apart enough to say, buy this battery because it has a light on it. Truthfully, if you want a battery with a nice light, look at the Anker line. Bluetti's gonna hate that I'm doing this, but look at the Anker line. This one has a light bar on it. It's really nice. It's diffused, making it softer, casts a more even light. It's less in your face. It's a single on-off. If you want SOS, it's a press and hold. I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever use that. Who knows? Maybe I'm stuck one day. But I really feel like the flashlight styles found on the Bluetti and Jackery, they feel cheap. And in my opinion, this doesn't add really much value to the entire battery. I would rather see additional USB ports in the place of the light right here. Being a small capacity battery, I don't recommend running something like a fridge off of it that has constant draw, but using it for small power to bump a laptop or a tablet, something like that size, a camera like a GoPro, or even like an air pump for your air mattress, that makes perfect sense. Bluetti did not send me any of their solar panels, so I can't really speak to the efficiency of its solar charging capabilities, but I assume it'll be fine. I mean, the panels I had with that AC50S, they were nice, easy to use, and as far as I can tell, the new versions, same story. They'll be good. They'll work. The bottom line, and my summarized review, is that this battery, it's okay. It's an okay battery. It isn't the top of the line, but it isn't the worst battery I've ever reviewed. It's a middle ground. It's a budget battery that can get you through possibly a weekend if you're just recharging smaller items like phones, tablets, cameras, drones, lights, and the like. This, however, is not an Overlander's battery. The size to capacity ratio makes it difficult to recommend. Had it been a 500 watt hour battery, it would make for a much better Overlander option. For you Overlanders that are interested in Bluetti's products, the Bluetti EB55 is the one you should look at. It's a 537 watt hour battery, and it has two AC outputs. No, with two more AC outputs. So it has 4 AC outputs, more USB-A ports, no dinky light. Look, I can't even get it turned on. No dinky light, and it adds an XT60 DC input port so that you have more range with your solar inputs. Basically, it's the better bang for your buck. For a few $100s more, you get nearly double the battery capacity and almost the same physical size. So when you set this side by side with the Anker 521, which is a 256 watt hour battery, the Bluetti EB3A feels like an absolute monster. Really, it's the most significant setback to this battery, but this does show what I was talking about earlier. The shape is much easier to pack away, and the flat top with the wireless phone charger, it's a big plus. I would even say these Anker batteries desperately need a redesign, but that's really not the point of this video, so we'll talk about that another time. So I guess that begs the question, should you buy this? If you are out for more than 2 nights, no, not at all. I think if you're just starting out in this overland scene, this car camping scene, and you're sleeping in the back of your hatchback, and you need something to run an air mattress pump or keep your phone topped off, sure, this one is for you. And to make it easy to buy, I've linked it in the description for you, so you can pick it up right away. To you multi-night overlanders out there, the battery I review in this video, I think it is the one you're looking for, so check that out, and I'll see you over there.